Hey, what's up, guys? Anyways, okay, went back up. So, no, I've recorded some videos and stuff of my depressing phase, I guess it is. Um, Hopefully, I can get to the better content one day. I don't know, I think I'm having a midlife crisis. I guess you would kind of say it in a sense. Um, Being almost middle aged and life's been really screwed up and hard and things haven't exactly haven't hasn't really gone the way that uh should have. Which I know that's why I was chuckling. I know what some of you guys are thinking. Oh, hard life. Oh, he's not getting what he wants. I'm like, nah, dude. You don't understand. Um, I try not to make these videos, but I'm just putting things out. I guess probably for myself per se. I mean, if anybody's watching them, I guess it is what it is. So maybe you can give me some advice or whatever. Try to figure some shit out. But damn, blacking out again. I had like a subject that I wanted to talk about. And what's crazy is like I try to go back and I think of the try to go back and think of the subject and just I can't think of it. So it's like now I really gotta like I'm like my brain's really trying to figure out what the hell was I talking about, but I'm also trying to figure out okay, well, what's actually let's talk about another subject. But my brain's just like, no, dude, we're gonna figure this out. Um, Damn, like I said, really had that subject exactly. Like it's kind of like ADD, but and then I just kind of go stupid from there. Um, let's see, what do I want to talk about? Kind of just throwing this off of whatever once again. Um, let's see, what do I want to talk about? Um, let's talk about doctors. That's something that I always seem to talk about. So, doctors, Western healthcare. I think I may have touched up on this. Um, I think I was talking about doctors and uh, insurance. I believe I did. If I did, I mean, hey, whatever. Maybe I'll have some good content on here that my other video didn't. So, doctors. There's something else. I mean, I have respect for doctors to a point. Um, Maybe not as I should, and that's only because there's been a lot of lackadaisical, um, lethargic doctors that's narrow-minded and one-sided. They just they don't care about people. One of the reasons so many people have health issues. And to be honest, I personally believe that doctors cause a lot of disease. Um, Definitely the progression of disease. Uh, it's actually interesting because there's a lot of doctors or people that I hear or certain parts, like different communities, how they talk about preventive medicine. Well, being having health issues for almost 13 years, um, like really being in the shit pretty much. I'm not really talking about when I was a kid. I didn't really have too many health issues. I mean, I did, but nothing like I am now. And some of the times that I tried to, when I went to the doctor when I was a kid, it was more trying to get out of school. So, but, I mean, when I was younger, I had a lot of stomach pains, kind of like that gassiness, like that, make a grown man cry. Um, had a lot of headaches. I used to pop a lot of aspirin and no Advil and Tylenol and whatever else, and man, and then I think when I was like 12 or 13, I had acid reflux. So to be honest, actually, I haven't really thought about that. But I don't really know if that's even a normal thing for a 12, 13 year old to be having acid reflux. Well, I have eaten the, well, I have ate the American diet, standard diet for a good while. So, anyways, doctors. I mean, there's some good doctors out there. Maybe there's some doctors that I've seen that I believe should lose their license in general. Maybe they have helped people, but the things that I've seen, no, man. Um, I've lost about almost 13 years of my life. Um, like, I've lost so many things. I've lost. Um, I mean, I'm living. I'm here, but I've lost character building, experience building, which technically your experiences builds your character. I've lost because I've had so many health issues. I've lost. Well, I mean, some of my relationships were kind of not good anyway, but not because of me, just them. But yeah, I've there's some relationships that, I mean, even though that those relationships really sucked, um, I do feel kind of a sense of guilt, kinda. Like some of the relationships. I mean, there's a few, but like, say one in particular. I mean, the bitch was crazy, straight up, like narcissist from hell, and just crazy. But at the same time, there was a lot of things that, I mean, I was essentially always complaining about my health. And it's not like I'm complaining like, oh, my arm hurts. It's like my fucking heart's racing. It's like 150. I'm like, or oh my god, I don't feel good, or just different things, and I really tried to um, mask my symptoms, and even when I had um, free times, I would try to go out and do normal stuff. But there was a lot of things that I feel like if I didn't have all my health issues, maybe the relationship would have worked out. Now, probably not, because the relationships that I was in, not really good anyway. So, unfortunately, I have a habit of picking some crazy ass females. And I don't want them. Like, I don't want them. But the law of attraction says, well, I don't hear I don't want. I hear want. Like, no, don't give them to me. But, yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. I've lost that. Yeah, I think I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. At least probably almost a $500,000, probably. A quarter to $500,000. I mean, think about it. 13 years. So, I'd be making almost anywhere from a quarter to a half a mil before taxes, but I mean, who knows? Maybe I would have had a house and uh, whatever. Maybe I would have had kids, wife, girlfriend, mistress, whatever. Uh, all these different things. A vehicle. Would have been able to take vacations. So many different things. Things that, well, I mean, I guess it depends where you're at. But where I'm at, that's usually somewhat common. I mean, not all common. I wasn't brought up rich or even middle class. I was more poor. But those are kind of like my country values in general. So, have a house, some acreage, you know, hot ass young wife, um, a few kids, truck, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Have my boys, hang out with my boys, do this, do that, blah, 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 woof, woof, woof. All those things I didn't get to do. I didn't get to experience. I didn't get to experience a lot of things that people do in their 20s in general. It was already bad enough that my life was pretty screwed up before I even got sick. And who knows, maybe that was one of the reasons I got sick. I don't know. I just know at the age of 18, with all the shit that I was going through, I had like 15 things at once, one time. Yeah, like, if I had a gun, I would have probably killed myself. But I didn't. Maybe I should have. I don't know. It's kind of negative thinking, but you also got to think about the shit that I've been through. Well, I've been through some crazy stuff. Probably why I got so many memory issues. Maybe there's just like tons of blocks and stuff. But I've missed a lot of experiences in my life. Things that I see all my friends, family, just people in general. And they've essentially have already accomplished those goals. Regardless if it was goals that they intended to do or goals that just kind of happened, which, okay, hey. But, yeah, there's a lot that I haven't been able to do. Due to my health issues. And physicians, I swear, they don't give a fuck. It's just, it's crazy. Over the 13 years and the 76 times I've been in the hospital, and who knows how many times I've actually been to doctor's offices or had appointments with doctors. Probably hundreds of times. I mean, most of the times when I was in the hospital was probably the first 3 to 6 years. And I really was sick. But, when your pulse is racing and all this other stuff, and, you're puking green stuff, and whatever the case is, which was a lot of different things, they seem not to care. I mean, shit, right after I had sepsis, like 3 days later, they tried to say, oh, well, it probably wasn't sepsis. You probably just had, it was probably just a virus or something. Okay, well, vancomycin doesn't work on viruses. It works on bacterial infections, though. Luckily, I took those because I would have probably died. So, whatever. And I even tried to figure out, like, hey, what was this? Like, why did I have this? And it's, like, when I bring it up sometimes, it's almost like, it's just like, well, he's just bringing up the past and blah, 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 and all that's irrelevant. Well, dude, there's fucking something obviously wrong. You have a guy that, for the most part, was fine, didn't really have any fucking health issues, and then all of a sudden, he's having all kinds of health issues on every fucking level. And even the test, the CBC, the CMP test, CBC, complete blood panel, or CBC, complete blood count, CMP, complete metabolic panel, CMP. So, and sometimes I would have, like, on both of those, I'd have like 10 things wrong that's abnormal, expressing symptoms, and they're just like, oh, you're a hypochondriac. That was a hypochondriac. Like, I didn't know what that even was. And usually, to diagnose a person with that, you have to see your doctor or whatever, or doctors, for 6 months. And if they can't find nothing, okay, well, maybe you got something. But, yeah, I mean, I've had so many damn things. It's crazy. And doctors, from what I've noticed over the years, is, I mean, I think some in the past have tried to figure out what's going on, but for the most part, they don't give a fuck about, let's try to get to the root of the cause. And they sure as hell don't care about, okay, well, this guy's had, you know, 10 different things that's happened to him, or 50 different things, or however many different things. You know, it's like, I've had gastritis, esophagitis, polyp in the stomach, internal hemorrhoids, thick mass and purpura, which I guess they found that one was hemorrhoids. Gone now. I've had my liver and my spleen has actually been enlarged a few times. My liver enzymes have been 3 times the max a couple times. My gallbladder, still got it. I had a HIDA scan, and that basically even came back. My ejection fraction was 12.1. It's supposed to be 35 minimum and above. So mine's not even functioning hardly. I have thyroid issues. My TPO antibodies were like 122, 3 times, once again, 3 times. Now, there's people with stuff way higher, but you'll have doctors say, like, say for the TPO antibodies, well, that's not significant. If it was 600, then we would do something about it. But, well, I thought they were about preventive medicine. Or, like, some of the times, like, my liver's been enlarged. Not, well, that too. Or the enzymes. I've had doctors, they go and say, oh, well, did you take too much Tylenol or alcohol or whatever? Ha 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 ha. No. Just like I've had eye issues. I've gone to ophthalmologist. No. No. Well, I've gone to ophthalmologists as well. But no, but the same guy, the other provider that I used to see, the one with the liver, he was talking about, because I would start seeing like purple and these different colors and stuff on the side of my eye. And they're like asking if I was taking LSD or psychotropic or like some type of medication to hallucinate. And he just like joked it off. Like cardiovascular issues. So there, from what I've heard with persistence, they say like one of the, I think it's like right something, I don't know, something about the heart wall is actually weak. They want to do some stuff, but I'm not trying to get cancer. They want to do a CT angiogram, but they said it would be a 20% cancer chance if I did that. The CT focused on the heart gives more, uses more radiation than any of the other spots on the body. So I guess the heart's very complex. Keeps you alive. But I remember when I was having angina and whatever, I saw this one dumbass, and he said, not only are we going to, what was it? Not only am I'm gonna, I can't even talk right now, but he was like, not only am I gonna show you, it was kind of like that you don't have heart issues, you don't have angina either. And he did all these tests and blah 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 blah, and yeah, fucking dumbass. But I remember like how I was having these chest pains and everything else, and he was like, stop taking your blood pressure and blah 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 blah, and he was telling me to ignore my blood pressure stuff, not blood pressure, but my the pain and different things. He's like, just ignore it. I was like, ignore it? It's like, well, what about all the medical literature? And he's like, oh, well, they just have to put that out there because of the law stuff. And I'm just like, huh, that's strange. That's really weird. I'm not going to talk about that. Wow, I really got to put this on pause. No, I just saw something. So anyways, yeah, like, really, dude? You're telling me to ignore these symptoms, Okay, so yeah, I think I was saying, okay, so what if I'm having these issues? Should I go to the hospital? He's like, no, just ignore everything. I'm like, wow, dude. I mean, first of all, I think the guy should lose his fucking license for that one. I remember the other cardiologist, the one that definitely found out. Yeah, because that guy is actually the one that did the stress test and everything else, and even that, it was like some type of drug that. No, that was for something else. I know it was something somebody wanted me to take. I think it was because I got an infection or something. Um, and that one, the FDA even stated that it can kill people. Um, like there's a high risk and stuff. And that guy was essentially saying, "Oh no, no, no! You got like a like a 0.3. I don't know, something like that, percent chance or whatever." And um, he was basically talking almost like he was above the FDA. Like, "Oh no, you'll be fine." It's just like the what do you call that? The stress test that I had. There was this medication that actually causes heart block, mind you. And I was already tripping about. I think that maybe that was something else. Maybe that was, I don't know, because I do know when I had that infection I addressed that as well. So maybe that's what it was. And then they gave me this stuff. I don't know what it was. I forgot what it's called. It's kind of like when you're exercising and stuff on the treadmill, but you're not exercising. You lay down and they give you a drug, and it mimics exercise. Well, within like 50, because I was freaking out at first, and then I calmed down. I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's do this. Let's get it done. And then next thing I know, I feel this weird sensation. Like, no, I think I felt like a palpitation. It's like a, oh, oh, and then I was like, ooh, something like that. It lasted for about 10 minutes, and they're like, oh, well, it's already out of your system. Blah 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 blah. It's like, I don't know, but it really fucked me up. And then they tried to say that I had anxiety off the medication. No, motherfucker. The drug causes heart block. I guess whatever it is, I guess it pulls blood or something, so a part of the heart, I guess, doesn't have blood or something. I don't know what it was, but it was really screwed up. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I talked to the guy one time because I was having issues or whatever, and some people told me to come in, uh, and then he was acting like, because he was actually acting like, because this is the second guy. I was like, okay, hey, look, I'm having angina and blah blah blah. So okay, well, let's figure this out. Probably, same thing like the other guy. And then they started to do these tests, and it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe you do got something. But yeah, I had that. I had like this machine thing. Before I did that, I had to take a radioisotope, whatever um, thing, and I guess it filled up my heart, lit me up like a Christmas tree, uh, and all kinds of other stuff. I had an echocardiogram, and it was showing all this stuff, the heart's thing and whatever. So that first doctor, he didn't really do anything, but the second doctor, he did, and then he tried to get to the point like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. There's, I don't think there's anything wrong, wrong with your heart or blah blah blah. And he was talking about, and then he just got really fucking like shitty with me. He was talking about the reason that I have all my issues is because I have psychological issues. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious, dude? Um, and I was like, well, I thought you were talking about, all this stuff you were, and then he was like, well, tell me what you're talking about, and blah, 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 blah. And then he just got like really fucking pissed. And then I guess he was looking for whatever the case was. He was looking for something. Yeah, because he went and told somebody, his staff or whatever, to go get the charts. And then he was like, oh yeah, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Just all this shit. And then I remember when he went out, I heard him talk to these two women out there, the staff people. And he was like, I never want that guy in here again unless he has an appointment. Like, he got fucking pissed off because I basically stood up for myself. But You know, it's always interesting because when you tell people about this, they're like, wow, he really said that? But, yeah. And usually, when you tell people like that, staff and whatever, next thing you get fired. Well, I thought you had the right to complain, but yeah. Um, I mean, there's so many freaking incidences. Um, I remember when I first got sick, probably within those 3 years, I was at one of the hospitals, the Methodist hospitals in San Antonio, which is a fucking joke, by the way. They hire some fucked up people there. Um, I can look at some of my medical records back to back, and you got fucking essentially one was having sex with the patients, giving them drugs. I think it was more um, something about medical stuff. I don't know, like records. I don't know. There was one doctor that I used to see. Essentially, was just dogging me and talking shit, saying I was crazy. He actually lost his license for something I don't remember. But I remember one time this faggot fucking piece of shit, and I wish I could find him again because I'd fuck his ass up. Um, but then again, he's faggot. He might like that. But this nurse guy, he what was it? And I know definitely don't have enough time on this thing. I only got like 51 minutes and 49 seconds, and I'm already at 26:35. But I remember how they gave, because I was having some issue. I don't know what it was. And they gave me a Finnerkin. They were like, well, the guy was like, well, do you want it or not? I was like, no, I don't want it. And then he was just like, well, then I'm just going to discharge you and blah, 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 blah. Okay, first of all, bitch, I don't have to take that shit if I don't want it. And by the way, Finnerkin isn't all that in a bag of chips when it comes to certain things. Yes, I think it can help. I think it's a sedative, and it helps with your, like if you have stomach, or maybe it's nausea or stomach pain or something. I don't know. But I know the guy lied, but I remember after he injected and they took off for a while, him and the doc. Um, the doc came back and I was like, dude, like I was so fucking like, oh my god, I was fucked up. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was highly confused. Like I swear, I'm surprised I didn't kill anybody. Like I felt fucking like whoa. And the guy and the doctor came up and was screaming up at me saying that I'm always coming in here and I'm just looking for attention, all this other bullshit and blah 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 blah. To the point they actually essentially kicked me out while I was still on these drugs. What was it? It was something about, I think I said he said it was for something, and then he said it wasn't for that. I know sedative was mentioned or something. Like no, I think he said it was a sedative, and then he's like, I never said that. It was something. This was years ago. But yeah, kicked me off the property. Yeah, essentially kicked me out, and then this rent-a-cop piece of shit said I had to actually get off the property. They're going to call it SAPD. Like I was really fucked up. But yeah, some years later, I actually found out that Phenergan can actually cause great confusion. Hell, I remember the when I got the upper GI and they had to give me potassium, and some stupid little bitch ass nurse, whatever, I guess she was talking to some other girl or something, turned off the saline. Well, straight potassium burns the fuck out of you. Oh yeah, it burnt my arm. It was like some big guy, like boom. Well, the weather is kind of crazy right now, so it's kind of like dry. Yeah, or there was something else, or like when I admitted myself into psych because I was so fucking stressed about stuff and everything else, and then these cocksuckers were giving me Reglan. I think it was, I think it was 40. They were giving me 40 milligrams, and the thing is, they were supposed to give me 40 milligrams, and like throughout the day. And these cocksuckers were giving me 120 milligrams of Reglan. I was so fucked up. You know what's crazy is my bilirubin actually, I mean, I don't know how high is, but it got to like 4.3. It's never been 4.3 since, but it fucked me up. Or some of the doctors where I just go in having symptoms and signs of heat exhaustion or whatever, and they're just saying that I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and just, I don't know. I mean, there's so many crazy experiences, but to me, I just feel like doctors don't really too much care. It's like they don't really try to figure out what the hell is going on with the person as a whole. 99% of the time, all they want to do is test after test after test, and even if it comes back abnormal, usually they say, well, that's non-significant. Yet you're still having the issues. And usually you just forget about it, and if you actually continue to have those symptoms, they'll go and do the test again. Yeah, essentially I just killed two birds with one stone. So basically that's what they do. That or they just want to give you drugs for the suppression of symptoms. Never gets to the root of the cause. Now, I was kind of thinking about that a couple days ago. Now, there are some things that actually do cure you. Say if you got like some type of infection. Now, usually you might cure the infection, but because you just took that antibiotic or whatever you just took is probably going to really screw you up in the future. Or there's sometimes, you know, I still have respect for medicine. It's just, there's a lot of fucking idiots that don't know how to practice it. And you can come up with all these different thought processes about, you know, doctors, you know, when it comes to how much time they have and this and that and whatever, but it's just, it really gets to me. It gets to me in the sense that I've been sick for almost 13 years. I've been going to doctors for almost 13 years. I've had all these damn health issues. I go to these doctors and I give them a list because people tell you, write a list down. Okay, maybe my list is a little big. Now, it's actually shrunk, but it's still out there, big. The thing is doctors see this list and whatever they're thinking, probably like, holy shit, this guy's fucking wow. I don't know where to start. But even then, it's not even trying to get to the root of the cause. Like, okay, why is this person having all these symptoms or these conditions or whatever? They don't fucking care. That's not how Western medicine works. It's disease management. Give you a pill or something for the suppression to make those symptoms go away. But you're still going to be sick. You're not going to get cured with regular doctors. But if you go and see alternative naturopathic doctors, I mean, even then, there's still... I mean, I guess it just depends on the person you're seeing. But even then, my insurance doesn't pay for that. They think it's fake medicine. It's crazy. What's crazy is how it's not just me out there with all these issues. There's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people suffering. They're sick. They're like, hey, look, I'm having all these different symptoms. And the thing is okay, well, maybe there's some shit out there that, you know, docs just don't know. But I also look at some of the things that I know is fucking medical protocol. Things that doctors have learned when they were in school. I have some of the medical literature, the like real textbooks. The same textbooks doctors, medical students learn to become doctors. And they're just completely ignoring it. Damn. Hold on. But, They should know this stuff. It's like this. One time I was at the University Hospital in San Antonio, and I was having breathing issues. I was having bradycardia. My pulse would get like 50, and I've noticed, without even taking my pulse, when I start having those shortness of breath moments like that, I know that my pulse is low. So I take my pulse, and of course it is. And I remember when I went through triage and the ER and whatever, and they send you up stairs, which, by the way, when you're upstairs, you're fucked. Nobody does anything. And you only see the doctor maybe one, if you're lucky, twice a day. And that's usually in the morning. So, actually, you get better care downstairs, which, ugh. But I remember I was placed in a room with this one guy. I think he came in later on, like before I was about to take off, but he had the same thing. They were taking care of him, not me. I remember he gave me his peach cobbler. I guess he didn't want it. I ate it, and they fucking discharged me. Actually, I didn't even know I was discharged. Nobody ever told me. They were like, "Oh yeah, you can stay the night." So you know what? Fuck this, and I took off. And then choking on peach cobbler. And I told him, I was like, "Look, I'm having these issues." But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's so many different things. I look at my doctor, my current doctor, and she doesn't do shit. Not at all. Because everything is not significant. What's significant to her is stage 4 cancer, not stage 1. So, she's not even about the prevention. It's like I gained 74 pounds in almost 3 years. I got stretch marks, and she's practically like, she's like, "Oh, well, do you bruise easily?" Like, are you fucking serious, dude? Do I bruise easily? I'm going to have this for the rest of my fucking life because of you. I told you. I followed your plan, and I did what you said, and I gained all this fucking weight, and all this fat. And now, I'm fucked. I mean, I'm trying to do the gym and everything, so, I mean, I did lose 9 pounds for a little bit, but kind of all came back. It's, exercise and nutrition, it's, that can actually be pretty expensive too, among other things. But what's crazy is I lost 40 pounds when I got sick in 2013. 5 hospitals. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, your pulse is so fast." Did anybody do anything besides some saline? Nope. I even got sexually groped. Yeah, like some dude was touching my dick and shit when I was in Austin. My shit was like 180 over 113. My pulse, I don't know, pretty high, but when I was actually in the triage bed, or the hospital bed, laying down, everything was good, but every time I got up, it was fucked up. I don't know what it was, but I was pretty crazy. Well, it was crazy. But yeah, doctors just in general, it's like, I don't get it. When we're younger, we're told that, if you're sick or whatever, go see your doctor. Your doctor's going to help. I'm not saying that your doctor's going to know every damn thing. But what I've noticed is, I mean, come on, doctors have to spend almost a decade of their life, just to become a doctor. And some, it depends on the practice or what they're doing. It could even be longer. It's just like, and then you got the doctors that you have stuff that's out of date. They don't give a shit. So, what did I say? Like, I don't trust fat doctors. I don't trust doctors that smoke, and I don't trust doctors that don't read the latest medical journals or something like that. There was a few of them. There was probably more than that, but yeah. And then just obnoxious piece of shit doctors in general. But yeah, I mean, I've had all these different issues, um, and I've really tried to get help, and I've tried to work with my doctors as well. But most doctors are narrow-minded and one-sided. It's basically you do whatever the fuck they want, regardless of your input, or it is what it is. Um, I've had a lot of different stuff happen to me. So not only have I been dealing with my health issues, but there's been a lot of abuse from doctors and medical type people. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of people out there that could relate. So, and what's also crazy is how the will that they put you through. It's like you go to your doctor. Say you call your doctor's office and you say, "Hey, look, I'm having these symptoms. I need assistance." Well, from what you're telling us, it sounds like you need to go to the hospital. Okay, you go to the hospital. You wait however long. Um, University Hospital could be 3 days because there's just lackadaisical pieces of crap. Um, Sometimes it's quicker, 10 hours, 12 hours. County hospital. But yeah, you go to the hospital or just wherever hospital you go to, and they're just like, you're not dying, so you're good. Which I think that's kind of crazy too. It's like, okay, well, what about all the other people that's coming in here for non-life-threatening problems? But but yeah, they send you back to your doctor, and your doctor just kind of. But usually both of them, if you're in the hospital, they usually have a psych person that does an evaluation on you to see if you're nuts or whatever. But usually both of them, which is also crazy because I've had some intellectual intellectual conversations, and they're like, oh, this guy is not crazy. You know, he really has issues. I remember I went to one place, and I really talked to him because I was probably trying to get out too. But I really talked to him, and they're like, "Wow!" And it was like a whole fucking room of like shrinks essentially, and they're like, "Oh, wow!" So they practically kicked me out at probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what hospital that was. It was somewhere. But yeah, basically damn it, I forgot what I was saying the last one. But yeah, they basically it's like a will, a hamster cage will, whatever. Um, and then usually, sometimes both parties, usually they'll say that you got mental issues, that it's all in your head, and all this other stuff, right? So they want to send you to a shrink. Okay, well you go and see a shrink of whatever sorts. I try to stay away from the ones that give you drugs. I already got enough issues in my head. And 9 out of 10 times, well, this is well, I mean, I don't know. They probably put you're crazy too, but well, this is a real health issue. You know, you have health issues. You don't have mental issues, so you need to go and see your doctor. So it's just like the never-ending cycle. You look at the specialties in general. It's just like urinary issues, for instance. Just say that. You know, if you have urinary issues, okay, well, go see a urologist, right? And by the way, my doctor is a journalist, so she's supposed to specialize in different things, but she doesn't give a fuck. Even when I'm having symptoms, hey, can you refer me? No, but if I somehow get through the cracks and get a urologist, somehow she's just like, and she sees that, oh, well, you need to go see a urologist. But, okay, say urologist, you're having issues. Say they scope you or they do whatever they do. Now they find out what's going on, whatever's going on, it has to do with your kidneys. Okay, that ends. Now you gotta go see a proctologist or, I don't know what you call them, kidney doctors. Right? It's like, huh. And then you could still be having urinary issues. and the lower part. It's like gastroenterologist. Well, yeah, I mean they somewhat deal with the liver, but that's not their precise thing. I think that's a hepatologist, which is weird because I thought hepatologists deals with blood. Maybe they do both. I don't know. Liver doctors, I don't know. Um, it's just crazy. It's like I got thyroid issues. Endocrinologist, can't get that. I don't know. It's just there's just a lot of different stuff. Maybe you can put it together. I'm kind of tired in general. Um, I'm just gonna have my moments, but I kind of made a couple videos and just deleted them, so I don't know what the hell I talked about. But I don't got many minutes anyway, so it's on a timer. Maybe I could put this thing on like a set thing, like 5-10 minute videos. That'd be nice. But I think about, okay, I'm really trying to get help. I'm trying to get better, and doctors really don't do anything. You know, well, why see a doctor? Well, why not? I mean, usually I mean, the crazy thing is, I bring this list in. Doc, let's try to figure out what the hell's wrong with me. Let's get me better so I can get on the saddle and be a productive member of society instead of being in the situation that I'm in. You know, I've lost fucking a good portion. And the thing is about the whole 13-year thing, it's not just 13 years that I've lost. It is way fucking more complex. Way more complex. So, I mean, and then you gotta think about, you're almost 34 now. I mean, that's a whole fucking just boom, you know? But, I don't know. I mean, I feel like doctors don't really do much. I'm not saying that I haven't had some good results from doctors, but for the most part, you know, and even when I go and see, you know, say a doctor left or whatever, and I went to go see another doctor, they pretty much, well, you know, if you see enough or if you do enough tests, you always come up with something or whatever. They'll dismiss the previous diagnosis made by a doctor, like that HIDA scan, the ejection fraction that I was talking about. That was one of them, or all these other things. It's like, okay, why am I having all these inflammations? Why am I having all these different symptoms? Okay, when you have enlargements of shit, gastritis and all this other stuff, that's pathology. There's something there. You can see it. You know, when you're having all these other things, high blood pressure and whatever. I mean, I don't know if that's by that, but there's something going on. Well, take blood pressure medication for the rest of your life. You know, like, that's what the fuck I don't like. And we can't think the way doctors think in today's society. We're too fucking, what's that word? We got too many fucking things going on. You know, a baby is born, the umbilical cord, when tested, has 250 known carcinogens. Look at our diet, look at the air, look at the water, look at all this bullshit. We can't think in that way. We have to be preventative. Doctors don't do that. You know, I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's the school, maybe it's the training, maybe it's they have stuff. I mean, I've even heard from people that some doctors won't even refer you to a shrink. Or not a shrink, but people, specialists in general, because they can make money. I don't know. But that's some of my experiences of doctors that I've dealt with, and some of my experiences just in general. I just feel like doctors should get off their ass and be more attentive to patients, try to figure out what's going on, and try to fix each patient the best that doctor can. But unfortunately, doctors statistically just don't listen to their fucking patients. It's my way, the highway. We spend 5 minutes, maybe 10. If you're really lucky, maybe 30, 40 minutes. But that's usually no. And yeah, that's usually what happens. Nothing really happens. Then your folder goes into the file cabinet system, and then it's like, so I don't know. I just think we need to start treating people as a whole, not as just a symptom. Because if a person that really has real issues, a symptom is not a condition, I think. Like anxiety. But I got like less than a minute, well, about a minute on here before this thing goes off. Maybe I'll just run it until it goes off. So I guess if it cuts off, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I've been through so much shit. I don't know how to think, to be honest. It just sucks that I have all these health issues, and all these other people have health issues, and our lives are essentially fucking ruined because we're trying to get help from doctors, and at the end of the day, it's just like, pay me that $207 for that 2 to 5 minutes of service, and you never even really got to the point, even trying to figure anything out. But alright, it's blinking. I got like probably 30 seconds, so peace out. If you were actually watching this, awesome, I appreciate it. Leave a comment, all that other stuff. Like, that'd be cool too, if you like it. Don't like it, it is what it is. But alright, got like 5 seconds. Cool. Pieces.